Today, I figured I should do another review because I like the way the last one went, except for how long it was. This person, Giraffe Gobbler, they said that I should do the Back to the Future series, and it got 50 thumbs up, so I think, yeah. I wanted Mitchell to help me do it, because I know, he's a huge Back to the Future fan, but he won't wake up. Say watch. Nope, nothing. I'm sure most of you have seen Back to the Future, if not all of you. And if you haven't, then you're stupid. I'm just kidding. I don't know if it's necessarily, you can consider it like a cult film, but it kind of is. It has kind of like a quirky plot to it. It's not really something profound. I don't know how much any of them made when they opened at the box office, so I can't say it was a cult film. But it does have that feel to it. The first thing that you think of when you think Back to the Future is easily some of the coolest, funniest characters ever. Doc Brown, Marty McFly, those are the two real main people throughout the series. Doc Brown is interesting and amazing, not only because he's really funny and he's very quick and he's just frantic and it's great. It's just so much fun to watch. He's also almost like a fathering figure to Marty McFly. Marty McFly is a perfect character for this movie just because he's kind of part of that generation that doesn't really know what they're doing, but they're just having fun. He's such a good character because he's presented with this outrageous situation and, he tries to fix it. In retrospect, you wouldn't even want him to do it because he's not exactly suited for this task, but the movie's that much better because he's doing it, because he's this teenager who is normally a slacker and he's just doing his own thing right now in this heroic event. You also meet Marty McFly's dad, who is a really cool character. He's just this really nerdy, wimpy. The thing about Back to the Future is that they travel between time periods so much that when they change things and come back, the characters are radically different. So you can't really fall in love with the characters, but they all are still pretty unique. I really liked Marty's family. They were really funny just because it's kind of like a typical American household, especially around that time, I think. And it would be interesting just to watch them on a sitcom. I think that would have been fine. One thing I didn't like was at the end of the first one how different Marty's dad was. I was, don't get me wrong, I was rooting for him and everything. I don't know, it just seemed like, oh, you punch someone and now your life is completely different. If anything, that's kind of a poor message to kids, isn't it? Like, hey, punch people and you'll grow up and be awesome. One of the characters that stays relatively the same is Biff Tannen, the same actor also plays his grandson, Griff, and his really, really old uncle, or a really, really old relative, was it Buford, I think. In the first two, it works really well because he's a very good antagonist, but in the third one it's kind of overplayed. It's like, can we get someone new? What's his name? Hold on. The guy, Thomas F. Wilson, he plays the character well. It's just by the time the third one comes around, you're like, we could do something different. We're in the Wild West. We don't need to have the same guy. He could have been, I don't know, slightly smarter, I guess, maybe a little bit more cunning instead of just being a bully. A lot of the humor that's done in the movie is kind of childish, but at the same time, it's really funny. It's done well. It all kind of makes sense, even though some of it's a little outrageous. It still doesn't seem that out of place. The whole thing about the Back to the Future, all of the movies, is that a lot of it, if you just look at it at bare bones, a lot of it's a little ridiculous, but they do such a good job putting it together that it's one of the greatest trilogies of all time. There are some things I didn't like about the part 2, which is a lot of people's favorite. Part 1's my favorite. They go forward in time so that Marty McFly can stop his future son from going to jail. Yeah, that's nice. I don't want him to go to jail. Nobody wants a kid to go to jail. I don't understand why Doc can't just say, hey, you should really take a couple extra precautions, alright? Maybe they were trying to say too much of a good thing, can cause trouble. And it did because, Biff ended up taking the DeLorean and changed all kinds of crazy stuff. So, there are problems that come of it. It's just they all could have been avoided. I feel like Doc could have just said, hey, your son's going to do this at this time. Here's a note. Make sure he doesn't do it. Better yet, raise your kids better, Marty. You would think someone with the experience that he has, you know, traveling back and forth through time, later in life he would probably be a little bit more keen and mature enough to raise his children properly. Part 2, they got to play around with how the future's going to be, and I think that's why it is the most popular one. There's so many, you know, jokes, basically inside jokes between everyone about, you know, what's going to happen in 2015, or, you know, hoverboard. The problems with the entire series are what I've mentioned. Those are little ones, but the biggest one is after the first one, they really just aren't, they're episodes. You might as well make a TV show about Marty McFly going back and forth through time, because that's what it is. Marty McFly was more of a passenger than a time traveler, whereas Doc Brown was wanting to go and see everything. Marty was just doing it because he had to. The second and third ones really didn't add too much to the original. The plots were different, they had different problems, but they were just using what was already created and making jokes around it. And they're funny when you watch them, but at the same time you watch them again and you're like, I wish it would have done more. You kind of felt like you were there the whole time, and then at the end you're just like, no, it's funny. Another thing is that Back to the Future poses a lot of complicated questions in regards to time travel. The biggest one for me is when Doc is explaining on the blackboard how time works and how they created this alternate history and they need to go back to this point to fix it. Who is to say that that is the right history? The Marty McFly and the Doc that we see, is that the one that we're supposed to be watching? Is there a right one? That's just one. I tried to not get too philosophical because it's, at the end of it all, it's just a movie pretty much for teenagers. Like I said before, part 1 is definitely my favorite. It is completely original. No other movie approached time travel like that, except maybe Bill and Ted, but that is not even close to what Back to the Future was doing. The first time if you haven't seen it, you're lucky, because, I mean, the first time you watch it, it is such an amazing ride. I mean, while you really have no idea what's going on next. When you first meet Doc again, it's hilarious. Every time you meet one of these characters that you've seen before in the past, you're kind of like, oh, you kind of feel exactly how Marty's feeling at that time. Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they were like that. I would give the whole series a 7 out of 10, with the first one 9, the second one 7, and the last one a 5. The first one, it gets a 9 because it has everything that the other two has, plus the complete originality. There's really nothing wrong with the movie except for a few you know, paradoxical questions, but you know, that it's not what that movie's about, so there's really no point to nitpick at that. Second one gets a 7 because it's good, it's fun, but it doesn't improve on the other one, and the same goes for the third one, except it gets kind of old watching the same people do the same things even though they're different. Plus, I don't know, at the end of the third one, I just was like, can we make another one and forget this happened? Guys, I hope you liked my review. Like I said, I wish Mitchell would have been in here to help me, because he is a huge enthusiast. If you guys want me to keep doing this, just tell me. I think I'm going to start putting up, I might put up reviews as second videos on the same channel, put up in a video by itself, because I still want to keep that separate from the rest of my life, because this is more, I'm still talking to you, but it's different. You're like, you know. So tell me if you want to keep doing them, and more importantly, just tell me what you guys think I should do next. I'm coming to the conclusion that TV might be too hard. Keep it to the movies and the video games, even though that's not happening. Alright. We good? We good? I hope we're good.